So yet again, it feels like we're getting another weird one with this week's chapter of Bleach, Mayuri versus the left arm of Edward Elric. I'm sorry, I can't help it, it's a fucking arm. But this one, it seems as though we're getting more closer to the truth regarding all the mystery surrounding this arm and whatnot. Because in this chapter, you see, like, what we've seen in the past few chapters anyway, is that he has like some sort of mind, but he's just really slow. So automatically you got to think, okay, why would the left arm of, you know, one of the most fucking strongest things out there be kind of like that? And from my speculation and kind of my little theory that I came up with is, if the Soul King gave it to Bach or Bach got it, either way, I think he couldn't control it. Possibly either the power was too radical or it wouldn't just follow him at any given point. You know, it's just like, no, I'm gonna do, you know, what it is. I'm gonna basically follow what the Soul King set out for me. And I think Bach used some sort of either trick or, you know, science or whatever the case may be to have the arm actually listen to him. But the problem probably is that using whatever he used to make him follow him made the arm like that, very sluggish and slow and basically incompetent. So Bach was probably like, yeah, I'll have it around as one of my, you know, elite stern ritter, but it's really not what I want it to be. So that's what I'm guessing is probably a failed experiment of Bach trying to control it, because you see how it reacted, basically saying, you say bad things about Quincy, and just smashes, almost as if it's like programmed, like it's supposed to protect everything Quincy, but it's not actually a living, breathing thing or whatever. Kind of like how the right arm, it felt like it was a little bit more intelligent or whatever. And this also leads me to another thing. What if it's that the Soul King either gave different parts of himself to different people or whatever, like maybe he gave one arm to the Shinigami, one arm to the Quincy, etc., or he gave two different pieces. It really makes you wonder exactly what was going on. And another thing, somebody recently linked me the very first time we actually seen the Soul King. I believe it was chapter 519, and in that chapter, when you look at the Soul King's body, it's very far away, but you could tell that he still had his limbs. So either that was a flashback, which we'll definitely get back to at some given point, you know how Kubo does it, or something happened recently, or maybe that wasn't even the real Soul King. Maybe that's a Fox Soul King or whatever. So there's a couple different questions as well, like what happened for the Soul King's body to be split up into these pieces. And aside from all these theories and whatnot, I mean, chapter, pretty cool. Mayuri being the creep that he is, fighting against the left arm. I mean, it's showcasing that Mayuri definitely isn't falling back, but this could be a death flag, so to speak, in the fact that Mayuri is fighting at the end of the day a fucking strong-ass being, the left arm of the Soul King. And granted, while he is doing different tricks and he's outmaneuvering him and outsmarting him, like, I rearranged my vessels, my nerves, this, that, and the third, but it's the left arm of Soul King. And if Mayuri's gonna die at any given point, it's going to have to be now, which I personally, I don't want Mayuri to die, but it could very well happen, because it just seems as though, even though he continues to outsmart the left arm is really fucking powerful. So it could be a death flag for Mayuri. If he is going to die at any given point in the series, it has to be now, because it's almost over, and this is probably going to be his last fight in general. And I mean, it's, for Mayuri, in a weird way, like one of the best fights he could possibly have, simply because, and I'm not talking about choreography wise, I'm talking about just in general, because he's so interested in science and, you know, studying something. Like, while he's fighting this thing, he's like, ooh, I got my sample right there. So it's almost as if the perfect thing for him to fight, like his last scientific experiment that he could possibly get, because what's rarer than the fucking left arm of the Soul King? And with all that being said, yeah, again, cool fight, a little bit weird. Definitely felt that this was better than last week's chapter. I mean, getting a little bit more into the mystique of the left arm and kind of being able to somewhat piece together the puzzles of what's going on, but does leave a lot of questions still, like, what the fuck, why is the left arm like this? And Mayuri, yet again, like, you could argue that, yeah, it's very cheap that at the end of the day he's able to, you know, outsmart him at any given turn, and he did this, that, and, you know, he's changing his organs around yet again, which he did a fuckload of shit when he went against Silapros. So it could just be really good planning on Mayuri's part, but it does seem a little bit cheap in that aspect as well, so it is what it is. So yeah, it's a good chapter for the most part. I just really can't wait to get some of these answers, because it's just continuing to build up the suspense. 7 out of 10 for this one. Let me know what you guys think, though. What do you think is the case with this left arm? Why it's like talking, but it's like very slow, and you would think that these pieces of the Soul King would be smart as fuck, unless all of them are just really stupid. You know, overall thoughts of the chapter, I mean, it's a freaking creep versus an arm. Like, there's not really too much you can get out of all this, unless, like, you know, just continue to make theory after theory. So that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you could do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm Neverworld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.